in the AK-47 and what's most effective. And a lot of that is based obviously on the round itself and also on the rifle. But the round, it has been the real center of the controversy. You have the 5.56, which has a smaller, faster moving bullet, and really the AR-15 platform is more accurate. But then you have the AK-47, which is durable and is very reliable, and the 7.62 by 3.9 is a heavier bullet and greater knockdown power. Of course, militaries around the world have also been asking the question, what is the optimum caliber? And is there something that can replace these two calibers? The 5.56 has been around since the early Vietnam days. Then the AK-47 has been around since the late 1940s. So these rounds have been proven. They've got a big track record. Now, the U.S. military had a lot of objectives, and one was to create a round that was in .30 caliber to replace the 5.56. What's really unique about this whole situation is the Russians going from the 7.62 by 3.9 to the 5.45 by 3.9, going more closely to the NATO round. But yet NATO is moving more toward the AK-47 round. Looking at a heavier projectile was a very important part of it, and a .30 caliber and an M16 M4 platform. Also, optimum sound and flash suppression. They really wanted to develop something that could be used with a suppressor, and yet also something that would be supersonic, that could also compete with the 7.62 by 3.9 as far as energy and knockdown power. And then again, penetration into heavy barriers. The 7.62 with the heavier bullet, it can penetrate a lot better than a very light 62 grain bullet coming out of the 5.56. But yes, something that's lightweight, especially with troops in the field carrying a lot of ammunition, something that's very durable, and something with the low recoil. Now, the 5.56 is legendary for low recoil, being able to get second, third, and fourth shots in small areas. The 7.62 by 3.9 has a greater recoil pulse. So you're going to have a lot more recoil, and it's going to be a little more difficult to stay on target like it would be with the 5.56. And it obviously needed to be mechanically reliable and better ballistics than the 5.56 and the 7.62 by 3.9. So why not just adapt something to go with the 7.62 by 3.9? In fact, when I was building the rifle, I considered that for the AR-15 platform. But there were a couple of reasons why this is not optimum. There's a much more extreme taper in the 7.62 by 3.9 than there is on the 5.56. And one of the problems with the extreme taper is that the magazine has to be curved, an extreme curve, because once you start stacking these bullets, the percentage of that taper starts to affect, and it comes down into a curve. But one of the big problems with the 7.62 by 3.9 in the AR-15 platform is that it produced excessive pressures. It had to have a larger bolt. The gas pressures themselves caused a lot of wear on the bolt face. So while there are AR-15s that shoot the 7.62 by 3.9, they do have excessive wear and are not optimum for what the military was looking for. Then along came the 300 Whisper, and this was a Wildcat cartridge. It wasn't standardized, but a lot of different guys were using these in some different type rifles, and it was really a lot of fun. The ballistics on this were excellent. But the designer of the Whisper did not want to standardize. But the Advanced Armament Corporation was inspired by the 300 Whisper and designed the 300 AAC Blackout. And AAC stands for Advanced Armament Corporation. Using the same brass as the 5.56 NATO, they were able to design a .30 caliber bullet that was really incredibly effective ballistically. And once they developed this cartridge, they standardized this with SAMI specs. And what SAMI specs does is that it standardizes the cartridge. It gets all the measurements, and everything is a standard. So when you have a 300 Blackout from one company, you're going to have the exact same round from a number of different companies. And this is really what makes ammo companies begin to produce different rounds of ammunition. In fact, the 300 AAC Blackout now has over 110 companies making either rounds or components. So the Advanced Armament Corporation got the SAMI approval on January 2011. In October of 2011, the USPSA Multi-Gun National Championship was won with a rifle shooting 300 AAC Blackout. Ballistically, the 300 AAC Blackout has almost 17% more energy at 300 meters than the 7.62 by 39. One of the reasons why is because the 7.62 by 39 is thicker and wider, and it causes more drag on the bullet. But even though the 5.56 at the muzzle has much greater energy because it's going about 3,000 feet per second, the 2,200 feet per second 300 AAC Blackout has the same muzzle energy at 700 meters as the 5.56 has at 500 meters. And that is huge because that makes this more effective out at long distances. And even though the bullet drop is greater, you can compensate with bullet holdover for the 300. Recoil is very negligible. In fact, the muzzle rise is almost non-existent, and most of it comes back on your shoulder. But to be honest with you, shooting both of these rounds, it's very hard to tell the difference. Yes, there's a little bit difference with the larger projectile, but it's not enough to affect accuracy and follow-up shots, which is really important. But there was another advantage to the 300 Blackout, and that was it could be made subsonic without changing the gas system.
Here we have our two cartridges. This is your 5.56 by 4.5, and this is your 300 AAC Blackout. Both of these cartridges are based on the 223 case for the parent case. The difference is the 300 Black has been cut and shortened. These are 220 grain subsonic rounds that we're going to be shooting this morning in one of the suppressed rifles, just to give you guys an idea of what this round is capable of.
It's funny, you can hear it hitting the berm, and then when this thing stopped, it was like, whoop. That's just because you're not hearing all the muzzle blast.
Yep. The sound of that bullet hitting the berm it's as loud as the gun.
Yeah. Yeah. Thunk, thunk. It's kind of a sweet sound.
It is.
So the 220 grain subsonic 300 Blackout goes at about 1,010 feet per second with 500 foot-pounds of muzzle energy, compared to the 9mm 147 grain bullet that's going at 877 feet per second, and the muzzle energy is only 269 foot-pounds. So you've got a subsonic close quarter combat round versus another subsonic close quarter combat round with much more effectiveness. Plus, the 300 AAC can be fired from a 4.5-inch barrel with decent ballistics. So even listing all of these great features, the only thing that needs to be changed in a standard AR-15 rifle is the barrel. You change the barrel, it already has a gas port set for the 300 Blackout, and then you put your gas tube and gas block like you would on your 5.56, and then you would need a different muzzle brake. Other than that, the rifle is the same. Magazines are the same, the bolt's the same, everything's the same.